Hey, what's up guys? Gonna do another knife review. It's actually gonna do something outside today, but it's raining like crazy, so sorry if you hear any background noise in the windows or anything like that, but I just figured I'd do a knife review. This is a very cool knife that I've been using for a while now, and it's time for a review. This is the SOG Twitch XL. Now there's a couple different varieties of this knife, different variations in other words. This one happens to have the graphite handle and the satin blade, which is obviously plain edge, and there is a drop point design, not the tanto, and like I said, it's a satin finish, not the coated blade. But there are a couple different versions of it. I'm going to put a link in the description box to this exact one. Of course, you can look on their website and see what other versions they have as well, in case you like the knife but maybe want something slightly different. But anyway, it's a very cool knife. I'm very happy with it. Couple things I'll talk about obviously throughout the review, but first let's talk about what it comes with. Here's the box. You get a plastic bag, you know, when it's new. I like on these newer boxes we have the Gunny approved sticker. Very cool. In fact, I just recently got a signed picture of Gunny, which is very, very nice of him to send me, and maybe I'll do a video on that. But anyway, this specific model is the TWI-20. For anyone who's interested or wants to look it up by the model name, or model number rather. So some paperwork here. SOG knives. This is like a mini catalog, which is always cool to get. Get some information on some other models here. Multi-tools, fixed blades. Very interesting. On the back here, the Fusion line, which are their very affordable blades. Just, you know, some paperwork. Then here we have some more information about instructions on how to use and the assisted opening and all that kind of stuff. Some pictures of some other models here. I think that top one's the Blink. Then we have the Twitch 1, Twitch 2, SOG, Flash 1, Flash 2, Trident, Aegis. So, little family of knives there. Okay, don't need that, don't need the box. Knife, don't need the bag. Alright. So, we have our knife here. Let's get some specs out of the way. Open here, we have 7.5 inches, so it's a medium to large, depending on the size of your hand. I'd probably classify it as a medium knife. The blade is 3¼ inches, AUS 8, stainless steel, and closed is, or the handle length is 4¼ okay. Weight on this is 4.2 ounces, a little bit on the hefty side, but in a very good way. It's what I consider to be comfortable weight. It's a little bit, I wouldn't say heavy, it's a little hefty, but it just feels solid. It doesn't feel heavy. It has a very solid feel, no blade play at all in any direction. It is a lockback knife here. You can see the lockback design, pretty interesting. We have kind of a rectangle here, and the base of the rectangle sits right into the notch of the blade on the tang there. See, locks right in, that's what holds it. Of course you have to push down on here. It pivots around this pin, that's what lifts it up and releases the blade. What's cool about this one is it locks in the open and or closed position. In the open position it's nice because it's very unlikely you're going to hit the lock, but even if you do, it prevents the lock from unlocking the blade. So it's just a little extra security, which is always nice. But more importantly, it locks in the closed position. This way, if it's in your pocket, by hitting the flipper or the thumb studs, it is not going to open. Okay, so a little bit of added security. Some people like that, some people don't. It doesn't matter. I like the option. You don't have to keep it locked. You can keep it unlocked if you want. But anyway, it is a assisted blade here, meaning you have to initiate the blade movement, either again by the flipper or the thumb studs, and a spring will catch. Of course, open it the rest of the way into the fully open locked position. I like the overall look of the knife. It's very cool. Sorry about the fingerprints. Let's remove those. Okay. Alright, sorry about that. I just want to get the fingerprints off the blade there. Nice satin finish on there. We have the drop point or modified drop point blade with a swedge on top. Of course, it's unsharpened. It adds to the looks of the knife as well as helps with penetration, having that relief cut on the edge. It's really nice overall. I like the look of it. You got a hollow ground blade It's nice and sharp right out of the box. Although this one's been used, I have touched it up just a little bit, just some stropping. No actual sharpening on this. And you can see it is ridiculously sharp. But I can tell you that this was just as sharp right out of the box. In fact, let's do a little bit of a curly Q if we can. I don't know if you guys can even see that, but very cool. And one of these in a long time on video. But anyway, yes, super sharp knife. What I do not like about this knife, there's only one thing I don't like about it. Actually, there's one thing I don't like about it and one thing that's a very minor detail. I love using the flipper. Unfortunately for me, I'm limited to the flipper because I, for the life of me, cannot open this with the thumb stud. It's just, there's too much pressure because of how close it is to the handle here. It's just uncomfortable. I guess I could do it if I really press hard, but even then you can see my finger ends up hitting the blade and stops the momentum. With the flipper, it's perfect, but I just personally can't do it with the thumb stud. It's uncomfortable. The only other thing is the pocket clip. It's a very, very deep pocket clip, which I really love. And let me grab my little pocket here to show you this. It's a deep concealment clip, which a lot of the SOG knives have, even on these thick jeans here. It's not going to go all the way because of the thickness of this, but you can see it completely conceals the knife. Could be a good thing or a bad thing depending on what you want in your knives, but a lot of people like that deep concealment clip there. But what I don't like about it, or just it's like I said, a minor detail for me, is that the clip being on this side of the knife, it digs in the palm just a little bit. Alright, I have no problem with normal use, cutting box open, whatever, but I did cut a bunch of plastic jugs up, and I found that with extended use, my palm gets just a little bit sore from that rubbing. You can see just, it's not sharp or anything, it's very smooth edges, but just the abrupt angle here, it gets a little bit sore in the palm with, like I said, extended use. So just a minor detail. What I did do to try to correct this is I flipped the pocket clip over to the other side. You do have the option to swap the clip to this side for left-hand carry if you wanted to. Now I did that, and originally when I did that, it felt really comfortable in the hand. In other words, if you have the handle against the palm, it feels really comfy. Alright, there's no problem whatsoever. But I didn't like the fact that I had to keep it in my pocket like this. So every time I took it out of my pocket, I had to do that extra step of rotating it around in my hand before I opened it. So just again, minor detail. So I ended up putting the clip back on this side. Not a huge deal for me, as most of the time when I use my knife, it's out for about 15-20 seconds and then I'm done with it, so I put it back. So no real issue there, just a minor detail I wanted to mention in case you happen to use your knife for long extended periods of time. Another thing, if you don't like the clip at all, which I think is awesome, SOG usually integrates their SOG into the knife somehow. I really like the clip, it just looks real classy to me. It's pretty cool. But what you can do is you can take the clip off completely, because there is a lanyard hole here. If you wanted to slip this in your pocket and just throw a lanyard on there and have it hang outside your pocket so you still have easy access to your knife, you know, that's fine too. It has anodized aluminum scales here. Again, these are the graphite color. One thing about the AUS-8 blade, we're all pretty familiar at this point with AUS-8 steel, but SOG does their cryogenic heat treat, which if you don't know, they basically bring the steel down to a temperature of -300 degrees Fahrenheit, and what that does is it just adds to the whole stability of the blade, overall strength. So we have the performance you're used to out of an AUS-8 blade, but it's actually a little bit extended. You do have a little bit more edge retention because of that. Just that extra process really strengthens the blade, so a little bit more rigidity as well. But I do find that the blade stays sharper than some of my other AUS-8 steels. I'm trying to think of something off the top of my head. I have a cold steel Voyager in AUS-8, which is awesome. It's a great knife, but this blade, this edge, even though they're both AUS-8, I have found that this actually holds an edge just a little bit longer because of that that extra process in the heat treat. But anyway, overall, I absolutely love the blade. It's really just it's a fantastic knife. I did a review a while ago on the SOG Twitch 2, and I knew I would love its bigger brother, which obviously is the XL series. So it's really, really cool. It does take Torx bits. If you want to take the knife up completely apart, you can. I do like the oversized pivot screw here. It kind of adds to the looks of things, but it's also, it may seem stupid, but when I take the knife apart, and I have taken it apart once just to kind of inspect the internals and take a look at them, it's just so much easier with a larger screw. I mean, when taking knives apart, I always have these teeny tiny little screws everywhere, and it seems stupid, but it's just a quick way to define which one's your pivot screw. I have taken knives apart before and thought, wait a minute, which screw goes where, you know? It's just real distinctive. But anyway, as far as ergonomics, it feels good in the hand. The flipper obviously doubles as this finger extension here, which prevents your pointer finger and hand from moving forward on the knife, okay, if you were to have to thrust or use this in a more aggressive manner. But very, very cool. Comes super sharp, like I showed you. Touching it up, AOS 8 is super easy to maintain. You don't have to worry about your knives being really hard to sharpen. Some of us get kind of caught up in the super steels, and we love our S30V and VG10, and you know, and a whole bunch of different steels. Some of the stuff that's super hard to sharpen that I've had a problem with in the past, it was BG42, which isn't used super much these days, but also M4. Those steels, they take quite a bit to sharpen up. So I think the common person is much better off with an AOS 8 or similar, because it holds a nice edge and it is easy to sharpen. You don't need a professional sharpening job to get it nice and razor sharp again. But yeah, ergonomics, it's kind of just a pretty basic square design, but I like it. It feels comfortable in the hand. There's no funky finger choils to worry about. Sometimes knives with the finger choils and all kinds of different, you know, angles on the handle, sometimes they fit like a glove. They fit beautifully. But if you have the wrong size hand for the knife, it's extremely uncomfortable. To go with something very simple like this really widens your audience, because pretty much anyone can put this in your hand. Someone with a little hand, someone with a big hand, and he can still be totally fine with it. If you have a massive, massive hand, you're not going to get a full 4-finger grip on it. You can see mine is like 3 3/4. My pinky's just kind of half hanging off, but it's still extremely comfortable in the hand. So it's a great little work knife. It's super strong. It just feels really solid and really nice in the hand, and it performs very well for me. So I'm very, very happy with it. Price on this is about $50 to $60 pretty much anywhere you look. Full retail is $103.50. But again, you're not expected to ever pay full retail. You just go to different dealers, shop around for the best price you possibly can find, and I'm sure you'll be very happy with this knife. If you do like the overall design, you are kind of a lockback fan, it's definitely a cool one to have. So that's it. That's the SOG Twitch XL. Very cool knife. Thanks for watching, guys. I appreciate it as always, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Take care.